watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for joining us on Ace Country Radio. And we're also streaming at KPVM.TV. We're also on your Roku devices. It is Tuesday, February 4th. And a woman in possession of a stolen vehicle covers herself in feces, then reportedly flees from deputies. News 25 has more of these details.
On Sunday, February 2nd, at around 12 p.m., Nye County deputies were dispatched to the Breville gas station at 103 Main Street in Beatty, Nevada, for a report of an unknown woman panhandling at the pumps. Upon arrival, officers made contact with a woman who was later identified as Raven Wilson, who asked officers for a jump and some gas. During the encounter, officers ran the VIN of the vehicle being driven by the suspect, which returned stolen out of California. Deputies then informed the woman she was being detained for further investigation, causing the woman to become distraught. Officers instructed the woman to calm down and place her hands on the bumper. The female turned around with her hands behind her back, leading officers to believe that she was complying. According to the report, the woman then reached into the back of her pants, pulling out feces, then began smearing it on her face and arms. The female then told officers she would wipe the feces off with wipes inside of her car. The female jumped in the vehicle, rolled the window up, and drove away. A pursuit ensued, with the suspect traveling westbound on Highway 374 heading towards the California state line. The vehicle at this point began making multiple changes in her directions in an attempt to lose the officers. Eventually, the vehicle turned onto US 95 heading towards SR 373. According to deputies, the driver attempted to hit other vehicles head-on while traveling in the opposite lane. At mile marker 32, officers were able to successfully deploy stop sticks. The vehicle then traveled to the Amargosa gas station parking lot, where it struck a parked Ford Expedition. During this time, the Nye County patrol units were able to pin the vehicle to a stop at the Nevada rest stop near Fort Amargosa gas station. Raven Wilson was transported to the Nye County Detention Center, where she was booked for 3 counts of disobeying a peace officer, 1 count of false statement to obstruct a public officer, 2 counts of reckless driving, 3 counts of disregard for safety of people or property, 2 counts for assault with a deadly weapon, and 2 counts for attempted battery on a protected person.
And several protesters in Las Vegas are arrested for reportedly unlawfully protesting in an intersection. Rory Rossell has this story.
Multiple arrests were made on Monday afternoon, February 3rd, after a protest turned violent in East Las Vegas. Las Vegas Metro responded to reports of a potential protest near the intersection of Charleston Boulevard and Lamb Boulevard around 3:23 p.m. Las Vegas Metro officers arrived on scene around 6 p.m. as protesters began to gather. Police say they made initial contact with individuals and provided guidance on how to protest safely. However, tensions escalated when several vehicles in the area began driving erratically in the parking lot near the intersection. Protesters reportedly began to block the intersection and throw bottles and rocks at officers. At one point, police say a protester pointed a firearm at another officer, further intensifying the situation. Las Vegas Metro issued an order for the gathering to disperse, declaring it an unlawful assembly. Shortly thereafter, several individuals were taken into custody. The situation surrounding this investigation is still developing, and authorities have not yet disclosed the total number of arrests that were made. For more updates, stay tuned to News 25.
In more Las Vegas area news, the man accused of striking a Henderson police officer with his Jeep is back in court and is facing a 39-count indictment. Here's what News 25 knows so far.
A Las Vegas man accused of striking a Henderson police sergeant with his vehicle is now facing a 39-count indictment. Jonathan Gaston, age 43, was indicted by a grand jury on charges related to the incident that occurred on January 13th in a parking lot near Lake Mead Parkway and Boulder Highway. Court records show that Gaston pleaded not guilty during an arraignment hearing last week. His attorney, Nicholas V. Scotty, issued a statement to News 3 affirming that Gaston would vigorously defend the charges and exercise his right to a trial by a jury. The charges stem from an alleged incident where Gaston, driving a Jeep, is accused of hitting Sergeant Scott Alward. Sergeant Alward suffered a head injury and required 11 staples for treatment. Gaston now faces charges including attempted murder and battery with a deadly weapon against a first responder. Additionally, Gaston is being charged with multiple counts relating to possessing stolen credit and debit cards, identity theft, possession of methamphetamine, carrying a concealed firearm, and tampering with an electronic monitoring device. Gaston is currently being held without bail at the Clark County Detention Center, and his trial is scheduled to begin on July 7th.
And don't grab that remote. We have much more local, national, and international news when we return.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, history is in the making here in Nevada when it comes to holiday cheer. Our News 25 Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers joins us now from the city with an inside look at the U.S. Capitol's plans for next Christmas that place our state, the Silver State of Nevada, front and center.
Marking the first time in United States history, our great Silver State will harvest and provide the 2025 Washington, D.C. U.S. Capitol Christmas tree. The highly desirable tree will be selected from Nevada's Humboldt-Toyabe National Forest, which serves as the largest spanning the continental U.S. We are now joined by the U.S. Forest Department, who breaks down the details of this year-long process.
Great honor, and the fact that it's the first time that it's come from Nevada. The fact that the Humboldt-Toyabe is Nevada's national forest. It's really, points to that sharing it. It's not just about the forest, but it's about the whole state.
The time-honored holiday tradition sources a tree from one of America's 154 national forests.
We have to look for the perfect Christmas tree, meaning a tree that is anywhere from 60 to 80 feet tall, full, beautiful green crown. Once it gets to the Capitol in Washington, D.C., it gets raised and it showcases what trees we have in Nevada and the beauty of Nevada.
The U.S. Forest Service is collaborating with the Society of American Foresters and Sierra Forever regarding preparation and transportation of the tree to Washington, D.C.
It's a chance to let the nation know, with a whole lot of fanfare, who we are and what we do as we, go from where we harvest the tree to across the nation and to deliver it to the west lawn of the Capitol.
This is a great opportunity for all Nevadans to get behind the effort and let the nation know who we are, what we stand for.
The U.S. Forest Service is choosing a tree from one of the Silver State's high elevation forests in its hunt for the West Lawn's next Christmas tree.
We plan to host all sorts of events throughout the year to bring attention and spotlight to the Capitol Christmas tree effort, but also to raise awareness of our national forest public lands, what they offer in terms of recreation, access, stewardship, managing a healthy landscape.
One of the things that drives me as a Forest Service employee is pride. And so this is not only pride in the Forest Service, but Nevada is a proud state, and so I think this is going to highlight both.
A variety of Christmas tree events will take place throughout the year, leading up to its Nevadan send-off ceremony. Reporting from Clark County and getting it over that hump, to all my people in the sunny desert oasis of Pahrump, I'm Maria Centers for News 25 Las Vegas.
And our WNBA champ and MVP, Asia Wilson, has a brand new tennis shoe from Nike. All that and more from Mikey Ruhan in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Vegas Golden Knights are in action right now. They're playing the New York Islanders in New York. The UNLV Rebel Hockey Club has won the Western Collegiate Hockey League Championship and is now slated to compete at Nationals. The team earned an automatic bid to the 2024-25 American Collegiate Hockey Association Division I National Championship Tournament in St. Louis, Missouri. Well, Formula One's cooperating with my bedtime. They announced the Las Vegas race will start at 8 p.m. on Saturday, November 22nd. The start time for the first two editions of the Grand Prix was at 10 p.m. Nike has shared their first look at the A1, the signature shoe for Las Vegas Aces MVP Aja Wilson. The A1 is described as an optimal combination of cushioning, traction, fit, and support. And Pahrump Valley Trojan boys basketball are at Pinecrest Sloan Canyon this evening. JV is in progress, varsity at 6:30 p.m. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
And in today's health news, with so many viruses going around right now, like the cold, flu, and still COVID plus RSV, it can be hard to know which one you have if you're currently sick, and even harder to know how to treat it.
That's why it's really important to seek medical attention, because one symptom alone doesn't diagnose you with one or the other of these. It's a constellation, meaning a group of symptoms that will help your physician determine what illness you have.
Dr. Nia Villas is a family medicine physician for Cleveland Clinic. She says when a person comes in who is sick, they'll go over their symptoms and, if needed, test for the flu, COVID, and RSV3, which are three of the most common viruses circulating at the moment. There is no test available for a common cold or neurovirus, which is also known as the stomach bug. Dr. Villas says those can typically be diagnosed based on symptoms alone. So why is it so important for someone to know what illness they have? Dr. Villas says it can help when it comes to deciding which medications to prescribe or how long it may take for them to get better. As for prevention, she offers this advice.
First and foremost, stay home if you're unwell. Don't spread this to other people. Cover your cough, cover your sneeze, cover your secretions, and if you do blow into a tissue, then please make sure you dispose of it properly and don't leave it lying around, because that too can contain droplets that may infect others.
Physicians say that vaccinations can also reduce the spread of those viruses. And if you haven't been vaccinated yet, many medical experts encourage you to do so.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, there are several ways your electric bill is impacted. And here's Valley Electric Association to shed some light on what some of those main factors are.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Here are 4 factors that impact your energy bills. Number 1 is energy use. The more electricity you use, the higher your energy bill. Number 2 is fuel cost. When cost of fuel used to generate electricity go up, overall cost increase. Number 3 is weather. Extreme temperatures increase the demand for cooling or heating. This puts pressure on fuel sources and prices. Number 4 is equipment cost. Pricing for equipment and material needed to maintain the electric system can fluctuate. We can't control the weather or changing cost of fuel, but we can help you identify ways to save energy. Contact Valley Electric Association if you have any questions about your bill or for tips to help you manage your energy use.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's take a look through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam at this beautiful shot of the valley. We have nature, the mountains, and even some wildlife there on the trails. And a closer look at our first full week of February's weather after this break.
Good evening, Nevada. I'm Kaylee Bentler in the News 25 Weather Studios. Let's check out our regional weather. Up in Fernley, we saw 61, 65 in Fallon, 55 Carson City, 58 Tonopah, 59 Goldfield, 68 Beatty, 73 Amargosa, 75 Las Vegas, and 85 in Death Valley. But over in our paradise of Pahrump, currently seeing clear skies at 67 degrees. We had a high of 72 earlier. Winds south-southeast 15 miles per hour, humidity 20%, and the sun rose at 6:41. But we caught the sunset at 5:14 p.m. Expect humidity at 45%, wind southeast 15 miles per hour with a low of 51, and the skies are staying clear. Let's check out the rest of our week. It's kind of a windy one. They do chill out tomorrow. Wednesday seeing 14 mile per hour winds at 68 degrees. And then that wind comes right back for Thursday and Friday, 16 on Thursday and 19 on Friday. But we got weather twins for them at 66 degrees. Over the weekend, we're seeing the lower 60s for Saturday and Sunday. And we land on some sunshiny weather twins, 61 degrees for Monday and Tuesday. And that is your look at the weather. Back to the desk. Here's your net.
Thanks so much, Kaylee. And we are looking forward to when the weather continues to warm up, but we enjoyed those high 60s, low 70s while they were here. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and A's Country Radio, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. Good night.